So we're going to talk glazes, because I think often glazes are really tricky when you're first starting pottery. Knowing where to start is always a bit of a nightmare. So I would suggest an easy route in is to first of all find yourself a really decent transparent glaze that you know works. Obviously it needs to match the clay that you're working with, but once you've got a transparent, you've got the ability to just tint it and adapt it really easily. So you can use base oxides like cobalt, which will produce blues, copper, which will give you greens, and red iron oxide, which will give you anything from yellow through to sort of dark muddy browns. And it's really just about adding different percentages in. Cobalt is a really strong oxide, so if you were to add about 0.3%, you will get a very lovely light blue, but you take that up to like 1.5–2% and you get a very deep dark blue. With red iron, the percentages are higher because it's not as strong as cobalt. So you've got 9%, you get a brown, down to 2% and you get a light yellow, and 5% you get this lovely honey colour, which is kind of slap bang in the middle. You can use copper, 2% gives you a lovely rich bottle copper green, and you add in maybe 1/3% of cobalt and you get a lovely turquoise. On the other hand, you might want to go with a manufactured pigment, a glaze or body stain that you can get from a ceramic retailer. So this is about 8% of a crimson stain, but you can add in any stain. And that's colours covered, but also there's zirconium silicate, which is actually an opacifier. That will give you whites, and that's about 8% into the same transparent glaze. And all it's essentially doing is making the glaze opaque. And then you can go through the process of adding all of these oxides, all of these pigments into that, and you'll get a glaze that feels, again, completely different. So I would say just get yourself a decent transparent that's stock, that you know works, that fits your clay body, and then just go wild, have fun with all the colouring oxides and glaze pigments and opacifiers.